You're listening to Ecto Portal, a journey into the unknown with Anthony Anderson and Verna Wilson.
I hope that you are seated comfortably, with the light turned down and the curtains drawn.
Somebody there?
Hello, once again, to another journey into the unexplored, the unexplained Ecto Portal. I'm Anthony Anderson, your host, and I'm here with my co-host,
Verna Wilson.
And today we're going to talk about certain things you shouldn't do when playing paranormal games. And what does that exactly mean, Verna?
Paranormal games means a game where you're summoning a demon or a ghost. And I understand that kids have been playing those kind of games for centuries, ages.
Yep.
I played them when I was a kid.
Yep.
Did you?
Bloody Mary is a good example of one.
Bloody Mary's is one that
Yep.
we played as a kid, yeah.
Yep. And walking, what is it? So many steps and backwards around a grave will summon a ghost. Have you ever heard of that
I
one?
never played that one.
Yeah, that
No.
was one.
Did you try it?
I did try it. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened?
I did it on Houdini's grave, actually.
You did it with Houdini's grave?
I did, and he did not pop up.
And how old were you?
I don't know, in my 30s, I guess.
Oh, but you were too old to play a game.
No one's too old to play paranormal summoning games.
Well, I thought you did it as a kid, maybe.
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't live anywhere near Houdini's grave as a kid. I lived in Washington. Houdini's in New York.
Okay, I got the picture.
Queens.
Queen. Yeah. Oh, yes, he is in Queens, isn't
Yes,
he?
he's in the Queens graveyard.
Now, I'm trying to think of other games that we played as a kid besides Bloody Mary. I know we played a few.
I'm trying, I don't know, I can't, well, we'll go through the ones we do have, and we might remember the ones we played,
Yeah,
right?
let's go ahead and go through some of these games.
But this is a cautionary show now. These are games you shouldn't try at home. Don't play this at home. Various games to summon demons and ghosts, and we hope this isn't a springboard for you to, as soon as the show's over, to go start summoning demons. So be very, very careful. Take them at your own risk. You might want to try a few just for fun, but just remember, we did not encourage you, and you cannot sue us. We're not liable.
We're not responsible for this. I personally don't encourage you to do this.
Yeah.
And just for safety, just see this show for entertainment purposes.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Unless there's someone you don't like, and tell them, give them the instructions, have them summon a demon.
But that's on you.
Yes, that's on you. All right, first, I'm going to start out with one called the Closet Game.
I've never heard of it.
Okay, well, the only objective of the game is to summon a demon. Yep, not a spirit or a ghost, but an actual demon. And you just get inside a closet that's does not have any light in it, hold up an unlighted match and say, "Show me the light or leave me in the darkness." After a few moments, you're supposed to hear whispers and feel a presence behind you. Now, once you do, light the match immediately. It is said that if you don't get to light the match fast enough, something will grab you from behind and drag you into the darkness. Now, the same thing goes if you dared to look behind you. If you lit the match just fine and whispers disappear, open the closet door with the match in your hand and step outside. From then on, always make sure to have the lights on whenever you look inside your closet, since it's now permanently haunted by a demon.
Why would somebody want to even... I was about to say that. Why would somebody want to do that? Why do you want to have something invading your closet for the rest of your life?
Unless you really didn't like your brother or sister and you thought, if I summon this demon that lives in my closet and I have them walk in the dark and shut the door, maybe they'll just take them back to the portals of hell or wherever. But yeah, I don't see a benefit really.
There's no benefit. I mean, what's the point?
I don't know, because you would permanently have a demon living in your closet in the darkness. So why is that a benefit? And makes you have to always have the light on to go in your closet. So you're just making work for yourself.
And besides, why would any demon want to live in your closet?
My closet's pretty small. I don't think there's a lot of room.
My closet is
the demon
is scary as enough as it is. A demon wouldn't even want to go in mine.
Your demon be trying on your leather coats and
and my shoes and everything.
Yeah.
I know, but my closet, it's a nightmare enough. I don't need to summon a demon.
yeah, there's already demonic things.
I've
in
already
it.
summoned something scary enough. It's called not cleaning it up.
And it's actually close to your portal, is it not?
It is.
Verna has a portal in her hallway. In her
In
apartment.
case you're a new listener,
Yeah.
we've talked about this on...
Tell them about your portal, Verna.
Okay, I'll tell them about my portal. In case you're a new listener, and we used to talk about this on some of our classic older shows. I live in a studio apartment that has been around since before the 1920s, actually. It used to be a hotel, but now it's an apartment, and I have an old steam heater. Well, I used to have my bed near the hallway, and I used to see all kinds of lights. When I was deep dreaming and deep asleep, I used to see all kinds of lights and all kinds of spirit activity go back and forth from that hallway. And one time I had guests staying over, and I had to sleep in the hallway, so I had a futon in there. And I actually had some ghosts walk up to me to stare at me, and one of them tried to put his finger on my neck when I was asleep, and then when I looked up, he ran off, and he looked like a Victorian teenage boy in a white suit running off. So I kind of figured, since everything happens in that particular part of the house, there must be some kind of portal or some kind of energy spot in that house.
Just so you know, if you're ever one of Verna's boyfriends, we all know where they go when she breaks up with them. Into the portal. She disposes them.
I
into
don't
the
think
portal.
Greg is scared of my apartment.
Not now, but you never know in the future if things go bad. You could just chuck him right into the portal. I don't think he'll appreciate that.
I don't think Greg is even bothered by it. I think actually Greg thinks it's kind of cool.
Your portal? Yeah, I know your cats have sensed it too, right?
Yeah, they've sensed it too. They walk in that hallway all the time. They just meow a lot and they don't care.
Until they get sucked into the portal.
You've been in my place.
Yep.
Did you sense any energy there?
No, I think your coat rack was where the portal is, right?
Yes, it's still there.
So you better be careful. All those leather coats are going to go right into that portal one of these days.
We're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are you going to tell us? This involves cats. I'm sure you picked this one out specifically.
Oh, this one's called Cat Scratch, and it's a pretty light. It's supposed to be a pretty light game, appearing almost harmless, and it's supposed to be something that you would do with sleepovers. You just need two people, with you lying down on the ground and your head on your friend's lap. Your friend starts to massage your temples, helping you to relax as they tell you a story about a cat owned by an old lady. The nice cat that meowed and purred that got hit by a car and died. Then your friend would say, "Cat scratch," 3 times. After repeating the story a couple of times, the second time where the cat is mean and hissed at everyone, but still died, you're supposed to sit down and find cat scratches on your back without feeling a thing.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know about that.
You could also go on a ghost investigation sometimes and get scratched without having to do all that cat story stuff.
You know, I don't need to play cat scratch. My cats like to come up to me in the middle of the night for a snack or
And
something.
scratch you anyway.
Well, they don't mean to scratch me, but they love to come up to my face and tap it.
Oh, I remember my cats used to do that too. When I'm asleep, it's like tap, 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 tap. Hello, I'm hungry.
And sometimes they'll do it extra hard where it would scratch me sometimes, and I would be like, ouch, in the middle of the night.
Yep. So you don't need to play.
I don't need to play that game.
Cat scratch happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't need to tell a story about a cat getting hit by a car or something.
Well, there you go.
Okay. Okay, now what do you have?
So, I have one called the One Man Hide and Seek.
The one-man hide and seek.
One man hide and seek. In this game, you're basically going to play hide and seek with a doll possessed by a spirit, and everyone has one of those lying around, I'm sure. You have what is it, Baby Secret?
I have Baby Secret.
You could do this with Baby Secret. All
I
right.
could, and she sounds really weird. For those folks who don't know, Baby Secret was a talking doll back in the 1960s, and it was my sister's doll, and we still have it, and she still works. And Anthony tried it, and she whispers, but she sounds really creepy.
She's like, I will kill you.
Well, she doesn't say that, but
She's wearing like a red onesie, and she has really bad hair day.
well, that's Linda's fault. Linda messed up that doll.
Yeah, that doll's been around the block.
Yeah.
Anyways, Baby Secret will be perfect. You should try this at home. First, replace the stuffing inside the doll with rice and a piece of your fingernail. Okay, this is getting weird. After sewing back the doll with red thread, you're supposed to put it in a tub full of water after giving it a name. Baby Secret, time for a bath. Now it's time to go to your hiding place, turn off all the lights, and switch the television on. Take a mouthful of salt water, but don't swallow it. Stay for a minute in your hiding place, then start looking for the doll, which, if you've done the ritual right, is probably not in the tub anymore. I'm going to kill you, Verna. Once you find the doll, pour the salt water in your mouth all over it, let it dry, burn it, and then discard the remains. Also take the note of the static noise from the television during the game because it would signify whether you summon more spirit into your area. Okay, and then the cops arrive because your neighbors have called them because you're a devil worshiper and you're summoning demons in your apartment lighting fires.
That's crazy. I mean, it almost sounds like a voodoo doll that you're making.
I could honestly say I've never heard of that one ever.
I've never heard of that one.
Has anybody ever
who came
tried
up with that?
No, I don't know. That's a lot of work, though.
That's a lot of work. I mean, why would you do it?
And whose doll would you use?
Yeah. I mean, are you going to buy an old... I'm not going to give
It
anybody
has to be a
ideas.
possessed doll. So
Well, I was going to say, are you going to buy like an old rag doll from the thrift store, one that only costs $1 or something, and use it?
But you're assuming that it's possessed.
I don't know. I mean, what's the point of playing it, is what I wonder.
I have no idea. But if you ever want to play hide and seek and burn your doll, folks, your possessed doll, that one's for you.
Yeah, just, it's hazardous, so you don't want to start anything.
All right, what else you got?
We have one called the Devil's Face. Sounds awful. Okay, it's a simple game. If you want to see the devil's face, you'll need 12 black candles. All you got to do is lock yourself in a bathroom with a mirror just before midnight. You turn off the lights, you stand in front of the mirror, and you light the candles in a row. You close your eyes, you keep them closed till the clock strikes midnight. Then you open your eyes, and there's supposed to be the devil's face in the mirror. Actually, it sounds really boring.
It does.
Why? I mean,
Keep going.
okay. The game seems harmless or too easy that a lot of people have claimed to tried it. But then again, it's advised that you don't try it, especially for people who tried the game, experienced severe trauma and hallucinations after the game. Also, do you really think the devil is going to let you see his face without doing anything more?
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
That's almost a less dramatic Bloody Mary. Do you know what I mean?
It is less, yeah.
Because Bloody Mary, at least you're saying Bloody Mary 5 times in the mirror, and she's supposed to appear to you. This one, it's like you light 12 candles and shut your eyes. And by the way, can I just say, in this modern day and time, shutting your eyes after you lit the candles, waiting for the clock to strike midnight, who has a clock that strikes midnight? How are you going to know without looking at your cell phone?
Well, you know what you do. I'm not going to give people ideas. I was going to say you put on your alarm in your cell phone.
You could do that.
Yeah,
But I don't know, you could
I don't
try
think
it.
you should do it.
Why? It's just candles.
No, I'm talking about the game.
Why not? Maybe you want to see the devil's face, Verna.
I don't want to see the devil's face. What
Why
do I care
not?
about it?
Well, you can send him into your portal if you don't like him.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sounds kind of boring, actually.
Well, I have another one called Blue Baby Blue. The game's pretty similar to the game Bloody Mary, as we were just talked about. But this time you'll be summoning a dead baby. Oh, joy.
Oh, lovely.
Again, lock yourself in the bathroom with a mirror. This seems to be a fetish. Then hold your arms out as if holding an imaginary baby. Look in the mirror and chant, Baby Blue, Blue Baby, 13 times without a mistake. Baby Blue, Blue Baby, Baby Blue, Blue Baby. If you
Don't chant it, Anthony. Jeez.
I'm not in the bathroom, Brenna. I'm okay. If done correctly, you're supposed to feel an invisible weight in your arms, the baby thrashing in your embrace. It's going to scratch and pull your hair, and if upon reach. When it starts crying in your head, it said that you should immediately dump the weight on the toilet and flush it because it'll hold too long. A hideous woman will appear in the mirror and scream, "Give me back my baby!" Her scream is supposed to be able to break glass, and if she sees you still holding the invisible baby, she'll kill you.
Gee, what a lovely game.
Now, there have been stories proving the truth in Blue Baby Blue. The girl who tried the ritual wasn't able to flush the invisible baby fast enough that when her friends were able to open the locked bathroom, she was dead with her eyes scratched out and the blood pooling all over the floor.
Well, gee, I think that, I don't think that makes anybody really want to play this game.
I think
Why
should
would you
try
want to
it.
summon a dead baby? I mean, for anybody who's ever lost a child, that's pretty insensitive, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think you should try it.
Why?
It'd be fun.
Why would it be fun? Why don't you try it? Come on, Mr. Dare.
I don't want kids in my house, and even an
Oh,
invisible,
but I do. Oh, it's different. I'm a woman. I want kids in my house.
even an invisible child that scratches and bites you, and then you have to flush it down the toilet, Verna. What does that really say?
I don't want some kid in my house who's gonna crash the mirror and.
Well, that's their mama.
That's their
mama's
mama.
Gonna become scratcher.
I don't want to be holding some kid that's gonna scratch me and wails, and then the mama comes to say, "Give me back." I'll say, "Here, you're welcome to it."
Yeah, I just flushed her, but you're more than welcome to dive for it.
Sounds like a waste of time to me.
Yeah, I don't know why you.
Let her.
didn't
Let
do
her. She
that.
can have her baby. I don't. No.
You can have your baby.
You can have it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. What else? You got one?
Yeah, I have one. It's called the Midnight Game.
Ooh, a lot of this midnight summoning stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and this one is, let's see, and this one's from an article from Jessica Calder, and it's called The Midnight Game, and it's a game that's played in the dark, and here's the things that you'll need for it. You'll need a candle and a candle holder, surprise, plenty of matches, a pen and paper, something to draw blood with, here we go with blood drawing, a wooden front door,
Okay.
salt. And now that you have all your supplies, you sort out what you'll be doing, and everything should be set up and ready right before 12 a.m.,
Get your.
as
big-
you won't have time to go back for everything you need once the game has begun.
Wheel your grandfather clock into the bathroom.
Right. So here's the instructions. You write your name on the paper with the pen. You prick yourself and you put a drop of blood on the paper. You gather the rest of your supplies and you place the paper with your name and blood in the front of the wooden door. Can you imagine if your neighbors see it?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna be moving if you do this.
Yeah. Turn off all your lights, electronics, everything. Light your candle. Once it's reached 11:59, you set your lit candle next to the paper. You begin knocking on the door 22 times, completing the 20-second knock as the clock strikes midnight. After the 20-second knock, you open your door, you blow out your candle, you close your door, and you immediately relight your candle. You got to be fast. You begin moving all over the house, and they say, don't stop moving. You keep doing this until 3:33 a.m. So
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
3.5 hours of running around your house.
Right, and they say don't stay in one place for longer than a few seconds at a time or he'll catch you. So don't taunt the midnight man. And then if your candle goes out and you're unable to relight it within 15 seconds, stop what you're doing, draw a circle of salt around you, and don't move until 3:33 a.m. And don't leave your house until the game's ended. Even if you weren't sure if the summoning worked, follow the rules until 3:33 a.m. just to be safe. And don't go to sleep during the game. Don't turn on any lights or electronics. Your candle's the only light source allowed. And they say that you'll know when he's near, as you'll feel panic, dread, and hear voices, see movement at the corner of your eye. You'll hear knocks and thuds throughout the house. Long story short, don't let him catch you. Some say he'll make you hallucinate your greatest fear. Some say he'll haunt you for the rest of your life. And others say he'll rip out your organs one by one if he catches you. So I don't know who would want to try this, but
Yeah.
it sounds complicated.
Just, I was gonna say the benefits are just bountiful by the sounds of it.
All these games, there's no benefits to any of these games.
I know, but if you're curious enough to see if something can happen, that's when you would do these, I guess. I have one
guess.
called Dry Bones.
Dry bones.
The game is very similar to the one-man hide and seek that we talked about with Baby Secret,
Okay.
except you're summoning a demon instead of a wandering spirit. The game also has a few elements of the midnight game, so it's time to break out your matches and candle again. Don't worry, you have them still around from the last ritual you did. The summoning process for this one is really, really simple. You begin by turning off all the lights, lighting your candle, and going to your bathroom or any room with a mirror at 12:01 a.m. We're going to, so you can actually schedule 2 back-to-back. We're going to go do a little Bloody Mary now. You're going to stare at your reflection until you can feel a presence in the mirror. Once you know there's something other than yourself in the mirror, you're going to do the dumbest thing known to mankind. You're going to tell the demon, I acknowledge your presence. I welcome you into my home for a game of hide and seek until 3 a.m. Come in now. Now, after the last word has been spoken, you're going to grab your stuff. Hopefully there's, and you're going to just run. Try to be as quiet as possible while finding your hiding spot. It must be a good hiding spot, so as your very life and soul is on the line. If the demon catches you, be careful. You may want to have someone on a speed dial. Anyway, if you don't get caught by 3 a.m., go to the biggest room in your house and announce to the game that has now ended, and whatever monstrosity you brought into your home is no longer welcome and must leave. You most likely will hear the demon before it leaves, so don't jump when you hear something right behind you. Anyone can play this game. If you win, the demon will have to grant you a wish. Any realistic thing you want will be yours, material or otherwise.
Oh, we did a show like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've touched on some of these before.
Yeah, we have. But, why go through all this trouble is what I wonder.
I know. But it's interesting, some of the similarities between these.
It's very similar. And
You going to tell us about the 11-mile game?
yeah, the 11-mile game. Yeah, this is a game that's almost like Dry Bones, but it's more risky. So to do this game, you need a car or a motorcycle, something that you can drive, and a strong wish. So this is how you start it. You keep in mind that this is a one-person game. No friends are allowed here. To find the road, you need to begin your drive by night to try to choose a late time when there's little to do, when there's little or no other drivers on the road. Boy, you have to live in a rural area for that.
Yeah.
Find a back road inside some dense woods where it has to be inside the forest, not outside or around. You really have to live in the...
Toolies.
Yeah. Once you're inside the woods, begin driving down the desolate roads until your intuition tells you that you found 11-mile road. Keep your mind and eyes open. You'll know the road when you find it. Now that you've found the road, you can begin driving it right away or take a moment to stop the car and collect your thoughts. This is the only time during the drive that you can stop the car or turn back and choose, and they're advising you to choose wisely. Once you've chosen the drive, to drive the road, here's what you can expect to keep in mind during the drive. Don't listen to music or turn on the radio. Don't open your doors or windows. Don't stop the car, especially to investigate anything you might hear or see inside the car or outside. Just keep going. Don't use a phone or any other device, and don't drive faster than 30 miles per hour. This one is mainly, this one could be a safety hazard for you and your car. So now that you've gone through the warnings, here's what you can expect. The first mile, nothing will happen. It may get cold. You can turn on the heat. If it gets too cold, you keep driving. The second mile, same as the first mile. Keep driving. Third mile, you'll begin to see movement around you, but don't take your eyes off the road. Ignore all the movement. Just keep driving. The fourth mile, ignore any voices and keep driving. And the fifth mile, if the trees around you start diminishing and you see a lake or you see a bright glow of the moon, don't stop driving no matter how pretty and random it seems. Just keep driving. Now the sixth mile, the trees will return, the stars will disappear, you're back in the forest. Ignore the flickering of your headlights. Ignore whatever your radio tells you. Don't attempt to turn off the radio. Just keep driving. I thought you weren't supposed to have the radio on.
They're implying the radio will come on by itself.
I guess so. So the seventh mile, keep ignoring the voices, even if they're coming from your back seat. Do not turn around. Just keep driving. Now the eighth mile, Don't stop driving no matter what. Even if your flickering headlights makes it hard to see in front of you, slow down, but don't stop driving. Don't stop for anything, no exceptions, just keep driving. Now the 9th mile, your vehicle may stall. Close your eyes if your vehicle stops. Don't open them for any reason until your car starts. Once your car does start, slam on the gas and keep driving. For the 10th mile, don't look in your mirrors, don't even look in your back seat. Just keep driving. 11th mile, your vehicle will stall again in front of a red light. Do not look at it. Close your eyes, cover your ears, whatever you have to do. Just don't open your eyes until your vehicle starts again. Ignore the voices, ignore whatever's grabbing you, ignore everything, no matter what. Once the car restarts, keep driving a little further. And continue driving until you reach the dead end up ahead. And here's where you make your wish. Don't just wish for it, envision it. Imagine it's with you now, and if you wish for something small enough to fit in your pocketbook, check your pocketbook. If you wish for something bigger, check your back seat of your trunk. If you wish for something that isn't material, then go back home and it'll come to you very soon. But there is a price, and you have to decide if it's worth it. If you can live with major PTSD and whatever follows you from your journey, then you can happily live with your newly gained wish, or you can gladly go down 11-mile road again.
Sounds a lot for a traumatic date.
Sounds a lot for one wish.
It does. Better make sure it's something good if you do it.
I'm sorry, I'd stay home and read a good book. It's not even worth going to 11-mile road.
Well, there you go, folks.
Yeah.
11 mile. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the one we talked about earlier. The one we both know really well is Bloody Mary.
Oh, yeah.
So Bloody Mary is popular amongst young people because it shows such as supernatural in movies and stories throughout modern culture. Originally, Bloody Mary wasn't summoned for the purpose of eye gouging or other bloody reasons. She was summoned for the purpose of showing a woman her future. The woman would do a candlelit ritual, I'll detail below as well. If executed correctly, she'll either catch a glimpse of the future of her future husband's face, or she would see a skull representing the Grim Reaper, indicating she would die before marriage, much less horrifying and a way of depressing this version. Since I know this is what you're all waiting for, here's the actual ritual. You need a mirror, candles, preferably black, yellow, purple, or white, matches or a lighter. The candle colors are for protection, white and black, soothing fear, increasing awareness and intuition, purple, and to help open the third eye, yellow. If you aren't spiritual, then the candle color isn't important, but recommended having a black candle to protect and absorb negativity, and or a simple white candle to protect is something I think you should have regardless of spirituality. To play Bloody Mary, you need to turn off all the lights in the house, or at least in the room you'll be in. The ritual is best performed during the late hours between midnight and 3:03 a.m. Arrange all of your candles around your mirror, on the sides of your mirror. Can be a shrine formation, or can just so you can see the last candle you're going to hold while doing the ritual. I hope your friends don't drop by because they're going to really wonder about your bathroom. Light all your candles, including the one you're holding. Try to calm yourself. Now, once you're grounded and calm, close your eyes and begin spinning in a circle while chanting Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, 13 times, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Try and visualize an entity as you chant her name, Bloody Mary. After the 13th chant, open your eyes and face the mirror if you aren't already. You will either see her form in the mirror or only catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure leaving the mirror before she mauls you. Those who have seen her and survived her encounter described her as a rotting skeletal figure with nothing more than bloody bones, long sharp nails, and rotting flesh and clumps of matted bloody hair. Some say she's eyeless. Others say she wears the eyes of her victims. Still others say she'll drag you into the mirror and where you'll live with her forever. For a more tame historical version of Bloody Mary, you can do the following. You'll need stairs, a dark house, a hand mirror, and a candle. For this version, you need to walk upstairs backwards while gazing into the mirror. It said you'll see your future spouse's face in the mirror, or the skull of the Grim Reaper, as we discussed. If you see the Grim Reaper, you're destined to die before marriage, and that's it. That's it. It's kind of lame, but that's it. Bloody Mary goes by many names and has many variations to her ritual. It goes by the name Bloody Mary, Bloody Bones, Hell Mary, Mary Worth, Mary Worthington, Mary Wales, Mary Johnson, Mary Lou, Mary Jane, Sally, Kathy, Agnes, Black Agnes, Aggie, and Svart Madam. Summoning Mary requires the right chant. I believe in Mary Worth is the key phrase for one version, while shouting, Kathy, come out! Repetition of Bloody Mary in the mirror is a ritual. So there's different ways you can summon Bloody Mary, but that's the basic.
When we were kids and we played that game, we didn't go through any of that trouble.
No, and we were just 5 times in the mirror, looking straight in the mirror.
That's exactly
it.
what we did. And these kids, I knew they had a playhouse of their own, and the playhouse was a kind of elaborate, where they could turn the light off and on the way their parents built it.
Yeah.
So they would turn the light off when we did it. And I saw something. Everybody else, I don't know, because they were too busy screaming and running out of the playhouse. But I did see something, and I just looked at it for a second. And I just walked off. I didn't even run.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember in high school with 2 friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think David's one of them.
Yeah.
We didn't do a Bloody Mary, but we were all about the right age. So we're like 15, 16, 17 in there.
Yeah.
There was this stuffed bear, and we're at Dave's house, and it's in his living room, and it's sitting on top of a bookshelf. And we're all like, let's all concentrate on this stuffed bear and try to will our minds together to make it move in some way.
Uh-huh.
So the 3 of us across from the bear, across the room, sitting on the couch in the chairs, looking at this bear on this shelf, we're all like decided to concentrate in silence to get this bear to move. So we all focused together.
Like telekinesis.
Yeah, we all focused together at the same time, and we did it, and it was like literally 2 or 3 minutes, and literally the bear fell off the shelf onto the floor.
Oh, then the experiment worked.
And it freaked us all out.
I believe it.
And that was the end of that experiment.
That's more like a telekinesis experiment.
But this reminds me of that. The collective, you're going to try something.
Yeah, trying something, yeah.
And I think that's more telekinetic, teen youth poltergeist energy.
Sure. And teens
Kinetic-
are
kinetic
very
energy,
good
I
with that
guess.
kind of energy. When you're an adolescent, you definitely have those abilities more in you.
More latent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And the 3 of us together combined at the same time, so it was like.
Oh
wow.
yeah, so you definitely were able to test those powers.
Yep.
So
That's what that reminded me of, though.
yeah, I don't think I was even 9 years old. I was only like 7 or 8 when we did that game, and everybody was like jumping around afterwards, going all scared. And they go, and then I was quiet. I was always a quiet kid. I looked at them. I said, I saw something. They go, no, you didn't. I go, yes, I did. And it just looked like an elderly lady looking at me. She wasn't looking at me mean. She wasn't looking at me like she was angry. She just looked at me, kind of sympathetic, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
And I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't even scared afterwards. I just went home and ate my dinner.
Now, do you know anybody who played any of these variations of these games?
I didn't know anybody who did any of that.
I'm just trying to think if anybody I know played Bloody Mary, because that's the most common one.
That's the one I knew about. I think somebody played, actually, now that I come to think about it, somebody, as a joke, played the bathroom game once. Mm-hmm. But it was like a tamer.
What's the bathroom game?
The one where you go in the bathroom and you light the candles and stuff.
Oh, it's like half of these, you mean?
Well, they played something in the bathroom
Yeah.
where they lit the candles and they walked in. But I think it was like a tamer version. They didn't even take that much trouble. And I don't think anything happened, and they kind of laughed about it and forgot about it later.
So if you're in one of these rituals, lighting these candles in your bathroom, in your house or apartment, and you're in the middle of lighting the 7th candle of 12, and it's almost midnight, and your friend knocks on the door, opens the door, and goes, I just wanted to use the bathroom. I didn't mean to interrupt your summoning of the devil or anything.
They'll have to, if you have an outhouse, they'll have to use it.
Yeah. It's like, why are you doing that in here? I'm sorry, this is my summoning chamber. Apparently all summons have to happen in the restroom next to the mirror.
What gets me about these games is besides
Hold this baby.
the baby one, and then there's the devil face one, the one in your closet where they live in your closet. I mean,
Yeah.
it's what gets me about these games, besides the one wish one where you drive all that time and you ignore what's going on around you.
Yeah.
There's no benefit to them.
No, I think it's more people are curious
Sure.
to see if this stuff even works. It's almost, I would actually attribute it to the same curiosity you use when you use a Ouija board.
Oh, that's true too.
You're
Yeah.
curious if it really works or not. You've heard people have stories. You're not so sure it even works, so you're going to try it. There's no benefit to the Ouija board, really.
You know, I remember when you and I were in that lodge meeting and there was an Ouija board right there.
Oh, yeah.
And remember when you and I put our hands on that planchet and it started moving immediately, and somebody and one of our lodge members looked and he goes, "Oh my God, that worked!" And you didn't even move your hands, and it did.
Yep.
And then he walked up and he put his hands. He goes, "I want to try this. I want to do this." And I took him aside and I said, "Listen here," I said, "you're kind of a sensitive guy," and he is. This guy who's a lodge member. I said, "You're a very sensitive person." I said, "Don't try it."
See, you put more into Ouija board than I do. I don't. To me, it's just plastic and cardboard, and you get out of it what you put into it.
Well, that's true, but I've also been around. I've also know how people's minds can work, and if whether it's plastic and cardboard, if you think
It's
you're
what you
summoning
put into
something
it.
and you're not ready for it,
Yep. But again, it's like voodoo. It's what you put into
is
it.
what you put into it. And I just didn't think this guy was ready for it. I said, "I know you saw us do this." I said, "We're kind of used to stuff like this." We are. And I said, "And we don't sit there and do it all the time, but we're
Yeah.
kind of used to this."
Yep.
And I said, "But you're not." I said, "Leave it alone."
Yeah, leave it alone.
Yeah, and he was very young. He's not even, this lodge member is like not even 20 yet. He's very young, so
There you go.
I don't know if he took my advice, but
So there you go, folks.
Yeah.
There's lots of games for you to not try because we don't want you to summon demons that live in your closet or in your
no,
bathroom.
and we don't want hazards with all the candles, and we don't want you to have an accident in your car driving down dark roads.
And who wants to use the bathroom where a lady's going to scratch your eyes out while there's a dead baby in your toilet?
Yeah, why would you want somebody living in your closet that can bother you?
It's going to rearrange your shoes and steal them.
Yeah, just be safe, folks, and just look at this as curiosity, entertainment purposes, like I said. Don't try it.
But if anyone ever says to you, "God, I wish I knew one of those weird ritual games that you do to summon something," you can go, "Well, I have one." Now you have several of them to try.
Well, and I hope you don't try.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, okay.
You are forewarned.
Yes.
All right, folks, that's another episode of Ecto Portal for this week. And until next week, we'll say goodbye.
See you next week. Bye.
Royalty-free, copyright-free music by Kevin MacLeod and Ross Bugden.